Santo man kolnyang Mike Chol Grangawan Yupit Luping Yarul Pandiri Shet Maniel Anake Tonaniel Jilo Wanetona Dol I think kick I think
Madit Majak, Kadi Majak Bang, long time. Good evening, Rapwal. Welcome everybody. Share the video. Welcome to our clubhouse. That people in. Those of you are watching on clubhouse, YouTube and Facebook, that video. You can you Thank you, Bringley. Welcome. The more uncle I call it, you are one. One time I hope you guys are doing well. Kadim big media reporters on the ground. Lalo nonton. Alrighty, welcome to Madit Talk Show this evening. My name is Madit Majak. For those of you who know me very much, so some of you turning in Facebook Live and YouTube and X with Twitter and also Clubhouse. Welcome to the show, to the Lakes Media. So whenever we come live, we have important breaking news, important for our country. That's where we will talk about it. So we have a two important event happened a couple of days ago and today. That's why we came. I came live so that we can share. We will have some of our analysis team will join us. General Secretary of Lakes Media, Usas Mujung Malak will join us shortly, and also we'll have Moranyar will join me in Clubhouse if you have a chance on. So, and the others, South Sudanese, who are follow Lake Media, and to weigh in and to analyze what's happening. So, these two events, I think, thank you for joining us. And those of you, I know it's late in South Sudan. It's a night time in South Sudan and it's night time somewhere in Australia. And good evening, those of you in North America and South America. So it's like evening time for us. And those of you in the Midwest, in Michigan and some part, we're having a winter storm, which is snow. So those of you, because it's a winter season in our area, so those of you who are in this part of area, so please be safe out there. It's snowing and it's cold. Make sure that you and your family get yourself a bit much because we are in cold winter. It will be a long winter season this year. Make sure that get yourself the warm stuff, get yourself a food in your house so that your family can have everything whenever there is a snow and the road are shut down. So you make sure that you stay home with your family. So that is a little bit update for those of us who are in America who are experiencing this cold weather. For those, so let me good evening and good morning and good night wherever you are. Thank you and our viewers listening across South Sudan and beyond. Welcome to another edition of Madit Majak Live Show with the Lakes Media and South Sudan Media. And we see developing story happening in English. So that's where we will have. So there's a breaking news in English, which is in South Sudan in Dinka language, it's called Pantau. So Pantau is a part, as we know that Pantau English is a part of South Sudan, but Sudan took it because they have the oil. And we know this by English. I'm not going to go there, but we are talking about what's happening as right now. So how we know that Sudan is having a civil war itself. RSF, which is led by Amity, and also Sudan Defense Force government, which is led by Burhan. So these two generals have been fighting each other since Umar al-Bashir left the power. So now, how we speak as a breaking news that RS has captured Pantau with English, and there are casualties. Okay, we heard that we're receiving some of the update that we like 73. I don't know if this number are correct, but so don't take Lake Media on this because this is what we are getting. But according to the official from SSPDF spokesperson or any other headquarter, Billy Palm, they have not confirmed it yet, the casualty from SSPDF. But what we are seeing collecting in the media, we have seen that about 73 SSPDF were killed in English in Pantau during the moment of those who for the last few days, weeks for the war over there in the oil area. As we all know that the English or Pantau is oil field as one of the big oil that South Sudan and Sudan depend on. Now the question is, when I'm seeing when I'm seeing the report from spokesperson SSPDF, he said that, and I'm quoting him. He's saying that SSPDF, he said that South Sudan's oil facility remains secure via RSSF capital English in Sudan. The spokesperson Lul Rai confirmed that operation normal. So that's what he said. But the question is, how is it secure, the oil field? How is it secure? And there are like thousand and thousand Sudan army forces surrender. They run into the part of Sudan, South Sudan, and they hand over their guns, as you see the pictures we will play. So before that, we dive into our analysis. So listen to General Wallish, Johnson Wallish. He is on the ground there, part over there, and then he's speaking. And I'm quoting him. Here is what he said in his video. I'm quoting him here. He said that, and I'm quote, these forces, South Sudanese soldiers, are now with us here in Pankwach, and we have taken all the supply that were in their possession. Supply mean that the weapons, guns, and all don't have a machine gun. They took it, including the military equipment. We have taken the control of all the area and will go to Heglig to take control of the area. Oh, wait a second. And we are waiting instruction from President Salva Kiir, Commander-in-Chief, so to by Elder General Johnson Woolley, SSPDF, Deputy Chief of Defense Forces for Mobilization in the Army. That's what he said, okay? So something that caught my attention here before I play this video, he said that, I'm quoting him, he said, he said that we have taken control all the area, and I'm quoting him, and we will go to Heglig to take control of the area. What that means? That's what that means. Listen to it. What do you mean by that? Listen to my that we will.
أنا ونانا نرانو في معلوم أخو ما يقول أنا سو شكر بنديو لبران وصار فقير مجاديد عشانهم لما نفوسهم زي ما مثل بيقولوا شعبين في دولة واحدة سو ده ما اعتبروا زي إخواننا ونانا مسؤولين عشان جينا قابلنا وسلمنا معنا ده كله بعد شوية أنا نمشي إليش ونمشي نسلم إليش وبعد كده أتعلم أنا يبدأ في كده بران مع صار فقير مجاديد.
Okay, so that you have it, guys. So that is the video, and you have see some of the weapon Welcome, Nisib Tilo. So we will. So those are the things. So those of you who just joined me in Clubhouse and Facebook Live and YouTube, we have two topics we are to discuss this evening. One is RSF capture elite Panther oil field, and number two topic is about the military confrontation between the Red Band member and government forces in the Marol market. Yesterday or 2 days ago. So those are the two topics that we are talking about this evening. So as you see, as you see that SSPDF is forces that the oil field is safe. So you see the picture that I put up there. That is the oil field in English and so what that you see there, there is a lot of you see the damages in the oil field. So the question is tonight for South Sudan government. What is your reaction to this? What is your move? So here are the things that I want to ask you who are watching tonight. And some of this, what does this mean for the flowing of the oil? What this mean? That's the question. The oil. This one of the oil pipeline in English. Is one of the supply they're running and the others oil field has closed before. And number two, how may this shape the violent power in Sudan ongoing conflicts? And what is the relationship? Because South Sudan government they are on awkward situation here. Okay, so they've been seeing the war broke out in Sudan. South Sudan government has been staying as neutral. They are not support Amity or Burai. Okay, but South Sudan here is a midwife, and how you all know, oil is flowing to the Red Sea. South Sudan oil got that, and this war is going on, and since the war is that has been shut down, oil flowing and come back, and you know South Sudan government is depend on oil. The economy 95% of it depend on oil. So if oil is shut down, if Panther oil is shut down, what this is to the government of South Sudan. And what will be those two, what their tie between Amity and Buran, and what President Salva Kiir going to do here. This is and one of the things. And you also know that the following Elish or Panther after this signal that they make a victory for the group. This is they are separate. You have seen pictures. So all of that are been. It is one of the things that we have seen, and what will, because as I'm quoting the spokesperson of SSPDF that they will. General Willing, Johnson Willing. So he said that they are going to go to Panther. So what that mean? Are they going to take the elite from RSF? Or what that means. So that coming days, and we will see what the action is. So before I go to the next, so let me see waiting. Let me see. Get you. Okay, let me try to bring one person. Nisib Batilo, before I move on, do you have anything to talk about this current event in Ilish, Pantau?
Not really, the Abraham. If I suggest if you can brief us about the war crisis as well, would be great because
that's next. That's next. The next talk. Yeah. So all of those, been those are the things going on. So you have seen the video and you have seen all the weapons. Now those Sudan army forces that surrender and they came back the part of Sudan. So they will be treated as refugees. So what the government of South Sudan is going to do, because I have seen that SSPDF collected all the weapons from them, and now they will be treated as refugees. And we have known that thousands of Sudanese are in part of Sudan, in northern part of Sudan, in those areas. So that is what you will see. So now, here is what we are really. I'm really one of the 10 years ago when we see when SSPDF or as SPLM took over the image, and you have seen what happened during that time, and then they were asked to draw and all kinds of stuff. So what is this meant for the government of South Sudan? Okay. What I'm seeing, because all the territory there across the Sudan border between Illich and also and Abyei. So this is the time for the South Sudan to take all the territory, also Blue Nile, also in Nuba Mountains. All these people, this area, this was supposed to be a time for Sudan, South Sudan, to take all these territories back. Okay? But they are not playing that. They are not doing that, because what the South Sudan government is dealing is fighting it with its rebels, but they are not focused for the return back English handle South Sudan, to also to make sure that Abyei should be a part of South Sudan. There's no doubt. Okay, those agreements that have been signed, it's gone with the Bashir. So why are the South Sudan government still follow those agreements? And Sudan having different governments, not one government, it's multiple, two governments, and they will be break apart. Okay, Sudan will be divided into 2 or 3 countries. Okay, so if Darfurian can come out, Darfur said, okay, we will declare ourselves. Okay, Nuba Mountain, they will declare themselves. Blue Nile, okay, and also Abyei. All of these are our allies. Okay, so South Sudan government should support playing a very effective role here to say, okay, this you are mine. I would also join South Sudan be a part of the South Sudan country. And one of the things that as government of South Sudan is not doing that. So it's still playing that they is following agreement. What agreement are you following? That agreement you guys signed, with Umar Bashir, and Umar Bashir is no longer there. So it is a time for you, Juba government, take an action. Take that hand off. It's a part. It is a time. Take that Blue Nile for the fund also. This area, these people, they are our people. So it is a time for you guys to play a role to unite this area, bring it back to the south, instead of fighting yourself, like opposition rebels and the government are now fighting. So all of those, so this is the thing. So all of that, yeah, that is one of the things we see. And I hope government of South Sudan will take that role to make sure that take this area back to South Sudan. So my next topic is regarding about Red Bell and SSPDF security forces, which is really there. And we all know last week they a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, the government sent security forces to go around this arm, which is the Red Bell. And before I go to that topic, let me, one of the civil society in Muyakani is responding about what is going on in English. So let me play that piece audio so you guys can hear, because I have 2 audio from him. So he responds these 2, what we are talking, our 2 topic about what happened in English and also what happened in Bor. So he's responding to those 2 events. So I will play his audio regarding about what he think about what had happened in English royal field, and then we move to the next agenda. Let me see.
On South Sudan economy, the capture of Heglig town, which is a hub. My name is Edmond Yakani, Executive Director of SEPO. I would like to take this opportunity to make my comment on the lately development in Sudan violence that have a direct implication on South Sudan economy. The capture of Heglig town, which is a hub for South Sudan oil exit to the international market through the facilities in Sudan by the forces of Rapid Support Force from Sudan Armed Forces, it set a critical step on the relationship of Juba and Khartoum over the role of RSF in playing a game in between Juba and Khartoum as the military struggle for finding solution crisis in Sudan is getting closer and is pinching South Sudan directly. We are aware that South Sudan oil exit is through Heglig. And we are aware today that the spokesperson of South Sudan People Defense Force assured the nation that though Heglig is captured by Rapid Support Force from Sudan Armed Forces, the oil infrastructure of South Sudan remains safe. It is not affected or it is not destabilized. That is true. But RSF controlling Heglig, it means a lot in South Sudan economy, it means a lot in Juba-Khartoum relationship or South Sudan and Sudan government relationship. This is a critical milestone and is a critical step. As a civil society activist, I would like to take this opportunity to appeal to the leadership in Juba that since the ticket of IGAD special envoy to Sudan is given to South Sudan, is a South Sudan ticket. This position South Sudan to a strategic position in handling the violence in Sudan, though we have too much of our own crisis at home that we need to handle, and we find ourselves very hard to extend our hands to the situation in Sudan in terms of seeking peace and stability. At the same time, also Sudan with its crisis is one of the grantors for peace and stability in South Sudan. This is a total confusion. This is a clear indicator for political class in South Sudan and Sudan that the approach of seeking solution to political crisis through military struggle offers a lot of risk more than the dialogue. Therefore, Juba and Khartoum need to embrace the culture of dialogue. And I think Juba is in a critical position to extend its hand to the warring parties in Sudan to opt to go for dialogue, though we are aware that Juba even is struggling with its own crisis. The unfortunate and the painful situation is that citizens of the both countries, South Sudanese and Sudanese, are paying this expensive price of military solution to political crisis, whether among the warring parties in Sudan or the warring parties in South Sudan. This is the unfortunate situation for the citizens of both sides. And that's why, as an activist in South Sudan, I'm appealing to the warring parties in South Sudan and Sudan that please resolve your political differences through dialogue. That will make the citizen not to pay a very expensive price in their lives or through their livelihoods. I'm appealing to Juba and Khartoum. I'm appealing to the warring parties, both in Juba and Khartoum, to really opt to the best option of a dialogue, which is much more meeting the best interest of the citizen, which is peace and stability. But with this latest development of Heglig falling into the hands of the Rapid Support Force from SAP, this may likely trigger a very reactive role from the leadership of the United States. We are aware that United States is trying to get attention of South Sudan and Sudan crisis, and we are aware that there's a less political will, though Saudi Arabia have reminded the new administration of US to help fix the situation of Sudan. And of course that means by extension that may lead to South Sudan. Same thing also, the fall of Heglig from the hands of Sudan Armed Forces to the Rapid Support Force, it bring a new trend of again to the oil sector investors, and this may also bring in our friends from China to have a position on what does it mean exactly. Oil field of Heglig is under the control of the Rapid Support Force. This means a lot. As I repeat myself, it is critical. Just the leadership in Juba need to be proactive in supporting dialogue in Sudan than military confrontation. And if we are to use dialogue for resolving military confrontation, for seeking political solution to political crisis, then charity begins at home. We need to adapt the strategy before we tell our neighbors. Otherwise, the fall of Heglig from the hands of SAF to RSF is changing the game of politics between Juba and Khartoum, and it is setting a new pathway for economical negotiation or economical engagement between Juba and Khartoum. RSF is now at the center of determining the economy of both South Sudan and Sudan by the control of Heglig. This is risky, this is terrible. Of course, we urge RSF to take also a responsibility of promoting non-violence, respect of human rights, and ensuring that atrocities that we have seen being leveled against RSF should not exceed to economical crisis, but also even human rights violations. We strongly condemn any warring parties in Sudan or in South Sudan that tend to use torture, intimidation, genocide, humiliation, extrajudicial killing as an instrument of showing strength. We strongly condemn that and we don't embrace that. But now the economy is at the game for politics in Juba and Khartoum. Thank you very much.
That is the response to one of the civil society in Muyakani. That is what we are expecting, because the economy of in Juba, after this event in English, Pantau, it will be it is a game changing, yeah. And the question is, if it is a game changing, what will the Juba government do? Okay, even though he will sit down and talk with RSF and Amity of Ran in Khartoum, so still. So this is a very hard call, and Juba government need to do something. As Inmut just said, that charity begins at home. Okay, you need to do something. What is best for South Sudanese? Okay, so that's your call, government of South Sudan. President Salva Kiir Mayardit, you need to do something. That's your call. So my next topic is about the Red Belt and the South Sudan. As we know, because the reason why I'm connecting these two events is because we are fighting ourselves, we are butchering ourselves, we are killing ourselves. Meanwhile, we're having a threat to the foreigners' country. So which one? This is the question that I'm giving to South Sudan government and also to the citizen of South Sudan, because violent, and also this message I'm calling out to the opposition rebels who pick up arms and fighting with the government. So if you see that South Sudan is under threat, a late Pantau is not captured by RSF. And it's one of the oil fields that is a lifeline of South Sudan. Okay, and government now is fighting with itself, with its citizens, with the rebels and the group of youth, whether it's the White Army or Red Belt. So have we seen a couple of days ago or yesterday, you have seen one of the incidents in Bo Town, one of the Marol market, that's being pronounced that's correct. So in Bo, so there were an event incident happened there. The security personnel, according to what we received, they say that they received a report that the Red Belt member, they were in one of the restaurants. So the security personnel stormed that area. And then, so what we receiving here is there are 2 people died and 7 civilians are wounded. Here is what happened. So there were like 1 Red Belt deputy commander was killed, and then 1 national security officer was killed, and 2 national security officers were injured, and 7 civilians were wounded. So That's what I received. Maybe it should be more than that. So that should be more. Maybe there were more deaths. So some I heard that there were 5 more civilian, and the picture of the wounded civilian, even the young girl, like 5 or 7 years old, was shot. This is a really heartbreaking to see. The civilians are suffering at the hand of their own people. Okay, so this is really heartbreaking. So in Bor, as we all know, that the Red Bell were claiming that they are not rebels. They are community defense forces. They defend their own. They protect their own people from any other aggression coming from their neighbors' communities. Okay, but the government, according to the government, and I will play to play your brain from the report from SSPDF, the spokesperson, also from Chief of Staff. So I will play all of this. So now, as South Sudan in this critical moment, like what happened in Pantau, in English, and other area across the border in Sudan, and now what happened in Bor. It is a time for me to call the government of South Sudan and also the Bor community, Red Bell, so that they can sit down, negotiate, and stop. This is what they are doing. Because South Sudan is experiencing a crisis right now, and we should not be killing one another. So listen to the couple months ago, the spokesperson said things about Red Bell. And also, I have a video from the chairman, both community chairman. He will speak about what happened yesterday. I will play this video. So listen to spokesperson of SSPDF.
General Dr. Paul Majak issues the following orders here under. Order number 1, members of the Red Bell movement are hereby ordered to join SSPDF with their personnel and support weapons. A committee will be formed and sent to Malalchat barracks to receive members of the Red Bell movement joining the army. Members declining this golden opportunity and honor to serve will face forceful disarmament at the earliest time possible. Order number 2, armed youth in Greater Warab are hereby ordered to voluntarily hand over the weapons to SSPDF within 21 days. Failure to comply with above orders will result in the launching of a comprehensive forceful disarmament exercise. Order number 3. Members of SPLIO are ordered to report to the nearest SSPDF barracks in preparation for the commencement of second phase of the implementation of transitional security arrangements. Members of SPLIO who want to comply with the above orders will be considered hostile forces and will face full force of the national army. Thank you.
Now that was done, okay, when SSPDF called the Red Bell to put down their weapon, and they will report themselves to one of the branch Marol shots so that they can continue in SSPDF. That didn't happen. Okay, that was that. Then weeks later, here is what happened.
بالنسبه للاسئله بتاع ريد بيل المعدل الامني بالنسبه لنا في الجنوب الان دي ريد بيل زايد على الناس بيشاكلوا معنا لانه في ناس بيقولوا انه قالوا ده تنظيم بتاع كوميونتي لكن عندهم شعار وعندهم دبابير وبيجي بيشتروا اسلحه زي وعندهم بناير معناه ده تنظيم واعلان بتاعتي قبل زمن انه ناس بتاع ريد بيل لو زول داير يكون عسكري يبلغ في المركز لو زول ما داير يكون عسكري يشيل السلاح ويسلموا لنا لكن من الليله واللي قدام لازم تتعاملوا مع ريد بيل كمجرمين وهي اجهزه امنيه الموجودين لما تلقى ريد بيل يتصرف معه بالتصرف انه زول ده عدو لانه ما في تنظيم بتاع المواطنين بيكون عنده دبابير وعنده شعار فالتعليمات دي انا ضروري لازم عمليات لازم يتعاملوا مع ريد بيل فتعامل زي اي الناس اللي قاعدين بيشاكلوا معنا.
Okay, so this is the awkward situation, right? The government see the red belt as a challenge to them, right? The red belt saying that they are not in position fighting with the government. They claim that we are only protect our community, our people. We are not rebels. But the government said that, no, wait a minute. You guys have your own rank, you have your own uniform, so you are not a civil, okay, movement like a community. It's not. So they see Red Belt had a threat to the government. So now, few days ago, I see that because sometimes when South Sudan says this is a rumors, it will come true. Will come true. So a few days ago, I heard that the Red Belt leader say that they give SSPDF 48 hours to leave Bor when they are coming in. And then yesterday you see what happened. So civilian right here, they are caught in fire. They are being, as you see, many people died now, wounded. And they are women and children. And the government see the Red Belt as a rebel. And the Red Bull say that they are not rebels. And the Boer community come out, listen to the Boer, the chairman from Boer community. He was speaking from Wanjam. Yesterday he came out with his press because I know the Boer leaders, they are doing their best so that they can bring the government and the youth of Red Belt together so that they can have peace. I don't know what's going on. Okay, what is happening? We have seen incident happening coming out in Bor. Like last month, we have seen one of the security personnel when point the gun into the old lady, grandmother, the old, and demand that if you cannot give me the money, I will kill you. The civilians are getting arrested from the security personnel. And I give them to the SSPDF National Security Report that, of course, they take they capture them, the person who did that, and they arrest them, which is accountability very important. But still, we don't know what is happening in both. So this needs to stop. And in every area that there is incident, they need to stop. The peace is the only option. Violence is not a solution. So government of South Sudan need to reconsider, to sit down, to call the government official and also the leaders, board community leaders, to come together so that they can sit down, because one way or another the Red Belt use their account from the board community, okay, and they know that their leaders, they will talk to them. Okay. So listen to this to one of the board community chairman in Cuba, what he said. And it will
ya lo ke ngani ke njen mana de no gari ben wan bu ke ulo nyong lo ri le de nani ke dialan tan ko cha no ti to me cha ne ti lo tu ye ti bu no bi ban ko ti lo yi ke ngare ti ko ano ke bi jor no ga jor cha ne ke lo ne ti ti wa cha wa bi ngare bi invitation ne ti na to lo bu ta ga jor cha yo ka ja lo lan ke lo bu ke what you have to go to social media. Yes, and I can invite the board. Chambalo, you want to bring you. Cutting the CSR. I tell you, right up. The king I can go by there. a chen ka bai rio ka ka ja bai a chan chin de ya lo cha ke won ko ina yi lo mi da ga de ka lo ga ken ga ina dom de man war chen me de ne ku ni tok chen ka dom ma ku be ge da den kan lo ko ko ni ke chok lo mi ke de dom di lo ni man war chen de de dom di lo dom ku dom de kan ku ya lo ku lo wo pa da du wer yu ka wanga. For the first time in history, many chapter yakuma da kano kan mo RPG ko ko mo RPG man ko lemedi. To kalo ko tu lo ni wo bo. Ai ran ni jen mana da ni no mi no ni chi wo ni ri an ko chol ko mi no yo ko pe ni ke ko ka ja. Be ke lo. Ni na tu jan mi an ka to ma no ko yang ka to ma no ko tu jan mi ka tu jan be ke lo man. Ko jen jan ko ni jan ko man. To ko wo de mi no wo. Ke na wo ja la fra ke na wo ja la ma kon ni ngai ko wan ke ter ke ne we panda ke ra to mo ko jang wo me sa pro lo me din chali Marol ko ja ko no ra nyin jal te ko aka ko ta beli ko kai ro ti no ro ti ko especially ko ke suspected ke red band wala ka jiban bi cham su ki Marol ke kanang clash and with national security ni na buka ya ku wani da ba ku akono mu jura yuen wa lo di zaman ni mo ro lo ka ka red bell lo ka red bell mu jura yuen ni ba iram tha ne ya da la ku man ka dile ga lo ti ni na ka kanu ko ko bu ni na ti ba chen mo sa kla ti da benjamin wan kana mo nyo ko wa so ba te ni te but remember that Pangu actually don't can block Kadam. Kita kai wo ka white to one minute ko. Kita ni jinang ko war. Ye mo nyawa ka ba ni ti ti. Jadi pian ko ji nan ba ko ji do da ye le ba ka le ba kala ne. Ko ko wala nan dia ko munu. Tin kita tin. Kita ya ba ko tin di. Ko wa ro tin di ba. Ina cha ba ila ko na to ga mana do ko ko. Ko ya di di ba ba ko do ro le ni ko. Ti wa ka. Kena ka ran ko shin ko ro tin di ba. Ko wa ko bi lo ko di ba. Kana ro ku lu ku di ba ko wa lu. Ba di lu ba ai pa. Pa lo de. Sang ne. Bài là như có cái bốc của mình gì chẳng đủ ini aku ko changi pala ko lori e waja mari waja ko ko gi go sila ngato ngeno ngato no nga fa di yeli bo ko ni ko no bana ka ko kon ni ko bo ka ju ya bo ko lew wa to dien chen ya lai ko pan bu ka chu yu ka ai ja ma lang ko lo ngare kai ko na kuma ya kuma lwe kuma da ko kana mena kuma tu boy tu ya to tin mo de yo ka yo ni bu ten ni ko ko to kun ti dia lwe mo ti jam do ti ka especially with the return back ti dia ni yo ti jam ko jam de ke na no ni no net in social media jam no we de ran ko do ko ko se de ya ti ya ya ti on the mami de dal ko ko Kung agenda doon, buwan ko yung kita ng kaya. Ang kung yung buwan, yung maniwawa niwa, mana ada kalau doon yung lihat lucu. Yang doon di Jarman, yung kaya yang doon di Jarman di Majak. Ayun jam ko yung buru kita yung buru kakek ni. Mungkin ada kian yang mungkin jauh kori. Mungkin kau war di Jarman, war kuan kau war oke ini mungkin kau berdua itu. Kami biar apa ni? Kau mau sering mungkin. Saya jam naik mun buat je dah. Kira sih mun buat yang kau dia open betul. Kecil mau sering. Orang betul kasih. Ini buat tu bangun kau ni kena. Kau ini tu. Jangan keluar aku malah bah. Tapi itu bukan tu deh. Kau yang meja jam ni kita kira dah kau betul ni ni. Tapi kau pun kau buang kau. Kau pergi jadi kedom. Jaja mena kuma nyudu pe bu ko bu tem bu jajal madina bu ko bu ni ya kuma bu ko ni ya no ya akan ni ko wa ni ti te akan ga lu bi bu tu man ni ko bi ba ta ni ni kan su ni bu lo ngai dom jadi kayak dong baru kita cara mungkin kuma dong dah cerita ya ini lah yang cukai lah betulnya kan benang mungkin jumpi jadi kerana kuma cakap kuma ibu kita dulu kendam betulnya sampai anak jadi dulu nak kuma tu buat awal nak kuma karena kuma ada kuma ibu nah ini mana pandu pandu dari jauh di pandu kalau aku ini jalan baru pandu ni Roti kokun dan cendi ke, baru roti kokun dan cendi ke. Tapi malah kalau kuma, malah kalau security, malah kok itu lagi mari nampak. Kita kan, ayah boleh ada.
Kayen, ajak ping nong bangมีระบอดผ่านบอสต่อจุบันถ้าบ้านเมื่อสิ่งนี้อยู่บนแล้วก็รัดแบนกรุ๊ปยังเกิดบ้านควรยังเกิดน้องคอยยิบควรโอเคคอยยิบกับบ้านยังเกิดกันเวลยังเกิดเวลก็คอยยิบควรตัวผู้ใหม่เอกเวลยังเกิดน้องบ้านควรหมู่เวกเวลาเอาหมู่เวกcommunity board community to Juba or board community to or Jonglei or board community to diaspora yanka ke bank one way we palka tongwin tong apa kipa biya baby who quite will you read bad supporting I see your argument so read bell that argument getting a man that way we quite want to look protect from Marol, from any other threat, from anywhere. So as we all know that war and war, I had a lot of crisis, radical experience, say 1991, 2013. Okay. How do you talk about war? Okay. Who would think one, it would call okay, red belt here could ban by a group of you won't be quite protected. Apart, okay, but do not like don't be management command negative thing that like a tower court that would I law but civilian macro arrest. Black command bag law soup after jam atami why you pay why look at threat. Can you keep up? You will community protect community who I community win why win back quite one back protect non kun bo the king ko wona ko protect man I can arrest ke pa do ke we no kuma bardo kin na wan you kaman no kuma na wan you no nin kin security do kin ta part but if you put security kin ta part but civilian will protect it but the government you fail to protect the life and property of the citizens, and the reason why is because the community the youth have to come out to mobilize themselves and protect their people from harm way. Okay, now you coming out condemn the red bell, saying that okay they have a weapon, they have all of this, they organize themselves, and you don't want them to say, well, provide the security for crying aloud. Okay, you said that you are arming them. And there is a message, I don't know if it is a propaganda from the board community or it's true. When the red bell moved out from the board and they went to the bush somewhere, okay, I heard that this, I don't know if it is a propaganda, it's true from board of what they will do. Morley, a ban, pan boat. While we tell what you do, a chidiar, no. Okay, when we board die, we quite die for Kennedy. Well, because I didn't have, I don't know if it is true or not. You see? And they were making a point, the red one making a point on that, if it is true. And they are doing propaganda on this. But if it is true that there were incidents happen when the red bell move out from Bor, from Jonglei, and then there is attacks. And civilians have been killed. Marol, if that's true, the blaming have to fall on you, government. You are not providing the security to protect the civilian and their own property. And we are seeing that that's not involved. We are seeing that in Lake, in Europe. Okay? The change when you are experiencing a daily attack from Pinyajar. And there's no protection here. So you, government, you have is your mandate to provide the security protection for civilians. If you provide the protection, there will be no any community organize themselves and form a movement like Red Bell to protect themselves. If the rest of the community, all the community come out and they see that there is a challenge, that is a threat, okay, to their people, what you should do expect it to do? But now when you see that, oh, they are challenging, the Red Bell is challenging to the government, and you label them they are rebels. I don't know who is behind the Red Bell, okay? And the Red Bell, they're saying that that's what they're saying. They say that they are a organized youth that protect their people. But the government is coming in here and said that, okay, and they display the weapon, as you can see. In Juba, the day that there is, they thought that the government think that the Red Bell is that a sleeping cell there to overthrow the government. So the evidence show, which is evident, but the evidence said that, okay, they have ranking, they have uniform, okay. And that's wrong too to you, Red Bell. Like I wipe it with Pando. I wipe it because you were ruled for me. Galwang, they don't have rank. They don't have rank. Galwang, they don't have rank. They don't have uniform. I can't catch up. Murkali, I can. Ujila uniform can civilian can in one more young. I can. Well, that better much work she can alloy. They will really that way we have to protect Kuramadi Pan, but protect DR for walk one. Instead of that, we will not recognize to the point that you even give yourself a logo and uniform. That's why the government accusing you that you are a rebels group. Because you recognize yourself. You have a big weapon, you have your own uniform, you have a logo, even you have a leader. Yes, of course, everybody, you have to have it. Even yes, it's good. If you recognize you have to have a leader. There's nothing that no group that can no leader. Yeah, you can have a leader. But to the point that the government is accusing you that you are a rebel because because the way that you represent yourself and the weapon that the government get it from, and also to if you think that women find more with Red Bell. The way you that way will always protect quite one. Makrubag have this connection with the government. Okay, he said, okay, you have this connection with the government so that the security will not threaten you. Like what happened? Like last month, we have seen the huge forces of national security want to go to disarm, and you refuse to be disarmed, and you are acting gunfire. Quite a in Javati are your own people. They are now suffering at the hand of national security, at the hand of you, Red Bell. And also, national security forces, you should not fighting with innocent civilian. You are killing the civilian, as we have seen. How many wounded? Like the young girl, the little girl, till we ended, till we wounded. She should not be felt as a victim. nature security. What are you doing? Chatting and Krang and Krang Wachi, Krang one of the Chagwe bomb. And you should not think twice. There are the civilians there. So what that is one of, if you put back life coin of Agatao in jeopardy, that's the wrong thing to do. Nature security personnel. And also Red Band. YouTube group. What you did is not good involved yesterday. Bag diar mi bag jara tao kiti energy security too, you should put the priority, the safety of civilian first. If you see that there are members of the Red Bell are in that area and you receive information regarding that, and they are in the midst of the civilian, you should not go there and attacking them. Wait for them so that they can leave the area. But what you did yesterday, bombing, killing, like to kill them, what's the point? Those civilians should not be fell victim yesterday event. It's very sad to see. So that means that the mandate of national security, you don't have a mandate so that you can put the priority, the life of the civilian as in number one. You are there to protect them. You are not there to kill them, right? If you think that the Red Bell are the rebels and you recognize they are a criminal group, you label them that are rebels, what about the women and children that are not? They are not a member of Red Bell. Why is it you take the war into the civilian? If you see that the member came into the area, to the market, and you know that the market, you will see that a lot of people will be there. Civilian, innocent civilian will be there. You should not even fire any one bullet in that area. Even if it is a hotel or restaurant or something, you know for sure that people who are staying there are not only the Red Bell, there are the civilians staying in that area. So you should wait for them to leave and then go confront them. When they leave and leave out from the rebels, from the civilian area. So all of that is really it is very sad to see, and in my heart and prayers are with those families who lost and wounded. Is that, and also community, board community, why we back sit down as a community, back Red Bell group, this youth back Jamaica, and also Jama. And I'm here in social media, Clubhouse, Facebook, whatever. I listen to a lot. Miss Ban, what Muslim, and what I'm hearing from them. Non ke koi went to a diaspora with me pan bot of the diaspora win. We got koi went kai non Red Bell command. It's not bad to supporting them, it is good. But you make sure that if they are having another agenda, not just protect the civilians and protect their own property from Marol or from where they will come ready their cattle or kidnap their children. But if there is an agenda behind it that you want to overthrow the government, that's wrong. So you should, those of you who have influence with the Red Bell, if you guys want to be a part of the SSPDF, just listen to the call that the SSPDF they're saying that you guys have to join to report yourself to Marol chat. And then they will integrate you in. And then if you see the SSPDF will give you a mandate to go and protect. They same thing when we both that our be well read by that he will now this link relationship with the government, they will make sure that we will use back we will have Panbor that protect under SSPDF. And all of these men should be stay away, but that's not the case. And I think in a way you guys want to go. Buying to Panbor, whether buying to America, Panbor, to Australia, you're buying to Panbor to Juba, you're quite a buy bullet in Panbor. You guys need to react, and also the leaders, the Panbor will talk my. Michael Mukul were there, Paul Manyang is there. A lot of them are there. This should be out of there like this, and there are big recognized leaders in Panbor, within the government or in the community. And I know Panbor people, you have a very strong community here in the United States, strong community in Australia, strong community in Canada, and everywhere. You are well recognized yourself. You have, if it is the money, you have it. If you are like a manpower, you have it. Okay? But do not, different, because I'm not taking a side. I know some of you will be like, but I didn't want jam because I already received a tax somewhere. But either I can win. Like that. For I'm blaming both sides. I'm blaming you, Red Bell, and also the government, so that because quite wouldn't know I felt victim here as civilians. Actually, Red Bell. Don't and government, you should not take the war into the civilian. We need no mandate is protecting them. And they claim that the Red Belt saying that, okay, we are not a rebels movement. We are not against the government. Here we attack any government block, like what NAS did with the IO or what White Army did in NASA. They didn't do that. That's a little bit, so I was been by with Kuma, I been with Red Ball and rebels, and they have organized themselves, they have a uniform, they have all these guns, all this. Who's don't have a gun in South Sudan? So, but I think what we're wrong, you government, you should have an evidence like what you have in NASA against the Red Bell. But I don't see that. I can't think. Evidence again, the Red Bell, yes, evidence you say that is they have a uniform. Okay, they have uniform. Actually, they got shot naked. They recognize themselves, they can have a uniform. Okay, they have their own rank. Okay, and they are denying it. Okay, they should have rank. Okay, if it is a rank, they have a rank. Okay, if you saw your Red Bell, you have to move the rank. So government, you should have accurate evidence like what you have in NASA. Everybody stands with you. The action that you take in NASA, because the White Army took the law into their own hands, killing more than 250 wounded, many, and damages all the equipment of the government. Okay, you have right to respond that way in NASA, but we didn't see. We, the citizen, we haven't seen the Red Bell attacking SSPTF. One of the camp like Marol, for example. We have not seen in the media report that Red Bell achieved Marol shot, brother to attack. We haven't seen that. Or Red Bell achieved one of the any other security forces within board the attack. We haven't seen that. We didn't hear from them saying that they are regime change. We have not heard that from them. Okay. What you are showing her that the Red Belt have a weapon. We have a big machine gun. They have a uniform. Okay. So that's the evidence that you are showing her the existence of South Sudan. It doesn't show that. It didn't show that if they have all stuff, they didn't declare a war against them. We haven't seen any declaration of war like what White Army did, that they don't want SSPDF in Nasser. Okay, we didn't hear anything from the Red Belt saying that we don't want SSPDF involved. I didn't hear that. Okay, Ping. So, this is going on in Red Belt and the government. You guys need to sit down and talk on okay, more young look on court. You got on court here. To me, time about Red Belt. On court to go. Well, Red Belt can court. Kite. Buy a dog. Young and on quite what. Chairman, one guy ping in your will. Michael Mupulwet, one young man need to come out. All of these bold leaders in the government, even in opposition, then Bularwai, you need to come out too. So do the rest, so that there's no any other gunfire involved. Middle of me. So if the Red Belt group the government have to stand by his word that the Red Belt need to be integrated into SSPDF, and they have to put themselves in military, and then give them a mandate. If they think that the people are in the need of protection, yes, give them the mandate. The Red Belt, give them the mandate, and make sure that they will go and protect their own people if the government is not protecting them. Very sad. Let me give this chance. Let's say, Tilo, welcome. So, what do you think all of this?
Yes, thank you, Ustaz Madit. Thank you so much. First of all, let me greet you and South Sudan Eagle Media and your esteemed platform, both here in Clubhouse and Facebook or YouTube, and your guests down there in the room here. I would like to greet you. Yes, this is a quite a huge topic, but I like the way you put the emphasis, and I agree with you. You did appeal very well to Red Belts and the government as well, because listening to these four statements from the military that can be traced back about a month ago or a few months ago, the spokesperson of the army, whereby they came up with the the orders given to Red Belt to put their arm down or to join the army. Otherwise, they will be regarded as the enemy of the state. And I think this was echoed by General Chief of the Staff, Paul Ngang as well, where he said in Arabic, the Red Belts, or Hizam al-Ahmar, is the enemy of the state, is the only threat to our national security. That was a very serious statement, and it's a very dangerous statement to come from the military. It will put the Red Belts to the vulnerable positions, and they can be attacked. And this is, as a result, you can see what happened in the Bor town the other day. It is quite unfortunate. That's number one. Secondly, if you listen to the Red Belt leader as well, he was appealing if they can reason with the government. But I think there is no room that is given, as you said, you just mentioned that a while ago. The reason that being given to the Red Belt or described as the enemy of the state is simply because they have uniforms and they have their ranks. Otherwise, the objective, what led them took the arm in first place, wasn't addressed. That's another area of concern. And the statement of Johnson Olong in regard to the Heglig crisis, these famous slogans, one people in two countries, is a very troubling statement, by the way. And if you put that into account, or people were actually slaughtered in South Sudan, Kannabi to be specific, or with Medani. And recently, our women were deported against their will, and their children were left behind. And the social media was just standing on their feet. South Sudan, they don't want them in Sudan. And now we are receiving the defeated military of Sudan across the border from Pantau. They were received, and this statement has to be echoed publicly. The same people in two countries. It's very troubling, but my concluded statement is that all this, if you put them together with the exception of these gentlemen of the Red Belt, this is a complete disorientation. You see, who to believe, and the government in first place is supposed to come as a government to address all this, even though they came up very short and their statements in Heglig is very, I don't know how to call it, it's not even that weak, but it's not promising that government is going to do anything or is going to capitalize on this, because we have a battle that we fought in Heglig some years ago regarding the Pantau that is called Heglig in Arabic, or from the northern. Even now, the way that the issue is addressed on all social media outlets, the regard to it as oil installation that belong to Sudan, and this is misleading. And we're yet to hear from our government. This is South Sudanese territory, even though it was regarded as contested or disputed area between the Sudan and South Sudan. You see, so about Madit, there's a lot going on, and this is a very good topic. And I want South Sudanese to look into it deeply, because what is happening to Sudan is, I think, is coming to unfold, and it's going to implicate or have ramifications in our borders between the north and south, and even in our geopolitical in South Sudan, especially in the area of the economy. I know the Heglig oil installation being off duty since 2023, but it is the collecting point whereby the crude oil are collected and then from there shipped to Port Sudan and later on to international market. It's going to be affected as well, but we will see. And there is another area you didn't mention here. I think there was a bombardment by the Sudanese armed forces. I think is it yesterday or last night, whereby there's a number of casualties along from the South Sudanese armed forces. Nobody talks about that as well. If there is an agreement between the two, General Salva Kiir and Abdel Fattah al-Burhan, so I don't see it is necessary for the Sudanese armed forces to bombard the area as well. This is complete irresponsible action by the Sudanese, and it has to be condemned. But the way from our side, the way our general are addressing this, they are quite lenient. And as I told you earlier, this is a statement. I think it was borrowed from someone who is a politician. This has been said every now and then when you go to Khartoum. That's what you say. Oh, the same people in two countries, and when you come to South, the same people in two countries. This is a complete misleading to people of South Sudan. You see, and I think we can open the discussions. I would like to encourage those folks downstairs here, if you guys want to be part of the discussion, if you have questions or anything. Madit was speaking in Jiang a while ago. He's appealing to Red Belt and the army to try to find a way to compromise, because Boer community is in the area that is quite hostile, and there were a number of incidents since 1991. Therefore, the youth, I think, they're left with nothing apart from taking arms to defend themselves. The government should intervene, or to at least be reactive. I mean, be proactive, by dealing with the situation. At least give a contract, put your arm down, or join the military, and the issue of insecurity can be addressed. 1, 2, 3, 4. But this thing is yet to be heard from the government side. This is where my concern is. Otherwise, I will leave it there, Brother Madit. Very good topic and good rooms. And those folks, if you guys want to be part of discussion as well, you guys are more than welcome to weigh in. Thank you so much, Sir Madit.
Thank you, Saratida. Thank you for this. Before we open the hearing, because I will be closing the studio. Before I close up the studio, let me one of the civil society organization in Ghana, he respond to that incident happening in Marol between the Red Belt and security forces yesterday. So listen what he said.
Yakani, Executive Director, of SEPO, I would like to take this opportunity to strongly condemn the occurrence of military confrontation between the government forces and members of Red Bell in Marol markets in outskirts of Bor town, which have led to loss of lives, and we pay condolence for those lives that we have lost, and we have injured individuals, including women and children, and we hope that they will quickly recover from their injuries. As a civil society leader, I would like to take this opportunity to appeal with all respect and honor to His Excellency President that the situation that is developing in Bor Town and around the outskirts of Bor Town for the last few months, where we have seen incidences of confrontation, physical and verbal, between Red Bell Group and the government forces is a serious issue. It's an issue that requires a quick attention. We are aware that there's a limitation in providing safety and security to the civilian population, and this has made some communities to come to the community defense force. And we hope that those community defense force have to be termed as an agent of military confrontation between the government forces and the members of the community that decided to form a community defense force. But also, community defense force should not be policies to deliver certain political objectives. Otherwise, that will be an act of violating the law or being in conflict with the law. We like this opportunity to appeal to members of leadership of the government of Jonglei State, at the same time also members of leadership of Red Bell, that there's a necessity for dialogue of resolving conflicts. Yes, there may be emerging misunderstandings or experienced misunderstandings in the past, but we can't sort out your misunderstandings through the dialogue. The best way forward is to embrace the dialogue for sorting out differences that you might have as two conflicting groups or two conflicting entities. We are aware that the current community defense forces are providing alternative safety and security to the communities, but they can't be used for any political motives or political gain. And that's why we are urging for dialogue between the Red Bell leadership and membership with the government of Jonglei State. But also we hope that His Excellency President will have a quick attention to the situation around Bor Town. That is disturbing, that is making us feel our citizens are paying a very expensive price. We have seen images of injured children who are completely innocent in hospital. That does not mean what is going on today. They are paying a very expensive price by sustaining injuries, and some of them are completely affected in their bodies, and that will remain as a history in their lifetime. And we hope that some of them do not lose their lives. We demand the leadership of the country to address the situation urgently and in a sustainable manner. Thank you very much.
There you have it. Thank you, Ilmu Yakani, for a wonderful clip. Always you there. You are a voice of voiceless, so you always stand with the people. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Okay, Ajak, do you, before I close this video, Ajak, do you have to say something before I close? Ajak?
Yes. What's on Madit?
Yes. What?
أخبارك؟
Yeah, totally, yeah.
شكرا. خلينا نحييك تحية كبيرة بعد ظهورك، وإن كان بعد غياب يعني أنت ما أعرف فترة كده ما شفناك ما شفنا رمزاك. كما عودتنا لما يكون في قضايا صعبة أنت ممكن تتخلى بها شكل أشكال. تشكر ظهورك لهذا الحديث. أنا قبل كنت واحد من الرمات وكلام في مواضيع مهمة يا أخواننا، أنتم لكن كلام فيهم قضايا يعني ما ذات أهمية. وعبر خلينا نشكر أستاذ إبراهيم وللدعوة كمان. أنا ما استجبت طوالي، أنا حقيقتي كده لكن كان لازم أجي برضه. الجمهور ذاك كلهم كمان الموضوعين هما يعني أي واحد يصعب من الثاني. يعني بتاع فانتو أمين فانتو يعني أنا ما حكمت الموضوع بتاع جدا يمكن 80 غير إنه ذات ما عم في يعني معلومات كافية، لكن يحدون الأمل يعني وشغلتنا كبيرة في المجتمع بتاع الوطن إنهم هم مؤهلين إنه يتجاوزوا هذا يعني. فكثير من الشباب المعيدين ضد الميديا تقريبا يوم الحدث أو الأمس لما حصل الحاجة في أفريقيا جاء واحد شرح لي الموت وكان دي روايته هو ما سمعنا الرواية الأخرى أو بقية كان في رواية مختلفة، لكن الوضع بيقول إنه في أزمة حقيقية وفي تصعيد، لكن دائما شغلنا كبيرة في المجتمع بتاعه إنه قادر يعني يتعامل مع هذه الأزمة، وخصوصا إنه في تطورات في البلد بسرعة عامة كبيرة جدا بخصوص الموضوع بتاع وانتو أوي. باي ذا واي وانتو هي كلمة هي نفس الكلمة معناها العالم يعني الأخوان الشماليين ما جابوا حاجة بينهم هم بس اتصلوا في جيش طلعوا يعني. ف كما معروفين إنه هي واحدة من المناطق الخلافية الأخوان الشماليين ما يقولوا الكلام ده طبعا بالآبار فيها طبعا ما فالتطور اللي حصل ده لواحد من نقول المطبات اللي يمكن تسهلنا بشكل بآخر في حاجة ما شفت إذا المدرسة يدعم معه بشكل كويس، لأنه لما تسمع الكلام بتاع النشطاء السودانيين ولما ينظروا لهذا الملف وهذا بيشوفوا إنه هم ما شايفين إنه عندها مشاريع بيقدر يمشي هناك برا ولا الجنوبيين ياخذوا جابوا يقولوا الجنوبيين ياخذوا جابوا ده مشاريع طبعا يقولوا الجنوبيين ياخذوا ده مشاريع باب النوسة والفاشل والكلام ده كله من غير حياة ومن غير خجل، مع إنه هم ذاتهم معاهم جنوبيين يعني يصفهم بالضرورة، لكن لما يحصل حاجة زي ده هم قاعد يقولوا الجيش الجنوب هو ياخذ يقولوا الجيش الجنوب بعدين معظم النشطاء يعني ما هو زول سلم منهم، وده قد يكون للجهل لكن برضه تعبئة من الشعب السوداني إنه السودان ناوي يتدخل فيها. إن كان المسؤولين الجنوبيين يتكلموا بكل وضوح إنه في يعني اتصال وفي كلام قاعد يمشي بين المسؤولين في البلدين يعني، لكن الحكومة بتاعتهم ما داير يوضح لهم الحاصل فيه. لما هم يتهموا إنه جنوب السودان هو اللي دخل الجيش دخل دعم سريع، طيب الجيش اللي بتاعهم ده دخل جنوب السودان ليه جنوب السودان ما يتعامل معه؟ الجيش دخل الجيش بتاعه جابوه بكل وصف صورة صوت إنه دخلوا بكل عتادهم وكل عتادهم عسكري ولا جسدي كلهم زي ما قال جونسون يقول وضح كل هذا وبعثوه من جوبا مخصوص، وكل مسؤولية يتعامل مع الوضع كله مسؤولية يعني يتعامل مع الطرفين، ناس دعم سريع الجواب وناس الجيش يستخدمون بعتادهم. طيب أنت جيشك بيهتم حتى الناس بتاع بنوس المناسبة وصلوا جنوب السودان الأمور ما ولا حساسية المسألة طبعا الناس ما يقدروا يوصلوا الناس لأنه الناس من هاي جايين، لكن الميديا المتابع والتعبئة الحاصلة في الشارع السوداني خلينا نقول مختلفة تماما من الكلام اللي قاعد يحصل، وطبعا يمكن الظروف العملياتية والحالة النفسية الماشية الشارع السوداني ذاته من الحرب المتين من الحرب، وبعدين أي تخاذل بيربط تحريز قريب يعني، فالتزعيد الحاصل في الميديا ده خطير جدا جدا وأكيد له تأثير وكانت فعل الكلام ده حصلت تجاوزات من الجيش السوداني زي ما قال أستاذ إبراهيم والمسؤولين يعني رغم التفاهمات دي كلها هم ضربوا المنطقة التاريخية. فهذا التصعيد يعني هو يعني من خطورة المكان يعني على على الجانبين. إذا التجاوزات دي طبعا تكررت أكيد الجيش بتاع الجنوب حيكون تعامل مختلف يعني تعامل كيحصل ده. نعم في اتفاقيات والمنشآت النفطية وهذا الكلام ده غير إنه في ذاك كوحدة المناطق نادى عليها. كل هذه التعبيرات الآن هي حاضرة في المشهد، وبالتالي نحن مطالبين أن نتابع هذا الملف بكل يعني حساسيته دي حتى إنه الناس تقدر تتعامل معه تطلع منه بأقل خسارة ممكنة. خلينا نتكلم في هيجلي منطقة متنازع عليها، وقبل اليوم ده كان حصل نزاع ده، وفي سيال بيقول دي بالمناسبة حصل في نائب رئيس السياسة أول تعبان جاي تعبان قايد نائب الرئيس اسمه تعبان جاي وتعبان قايد ومحمد حسن فاضل تعبان دين وتعبان قايد تعبان دين انا حتى لو في سجال قوي جدا ما اسوى بينه وبين محمد حسن الفاضل في موضوع هجليج ده، وده الدفاع مستميت. والكلام ده ظهر طبعا ظهر هسه في النهايه. فالسجال لو لاحظت انه الشماليين بيقولوا انه بس الموضوع ده الحجه بتاعهم في الموضوع بتاع هجليج ده او فهمتوا ده انه في لجنه رفيعه المستوى هي اللي يعني اكسبت انه الحدود ده بشكل ذكري يعني. واللجنه ده فوق اسماء انا لو بتحديد الزمن بدي لكم المقطع بتاع الفيديو تسمعوا الكلام بتاع تعبان جاي يعني محمد حسن اللمين محمد حسن من دول مجرم كبير جدا جدا كلب، لانه هو كان امين عام بتاع مؤتمر الشعب كان ماشي مع الترابي، وبعدين لما حصل نهايه في النص جاء نصل ثاني مشى فيه مع ناس عمر البشير يعني خذل الناس الترابي. فتعبان كان حصل في حته جدا انه السجال كان في قناه الجزيره انا بتذكر، وكان بيقول انه يا اخي الحجه بتاعهم انه اللجنه العاليه المستوى هي جمله الكلام ده التحديد ما عندهم دانا اي مستند انه يجيب شماليه. وده بيقول يا اخي المنطقه دي منطقه الناس على ماشي ليش الشماليه والسكان ساكنين شنو كلام شكله. فالذاكره لو مديت تسعه زمن خليني نلعب المقطع ده لو استاذ ابراهيم اذا مبارك كده بيكون لي مساهمتي معك حتى انه يعني ذاكره ناس تنشط انه اللي يحصل ده ما حاجه عابره ساكت، وده ما عشان تامين للبترول وكلام زي كده. لسه يعني احنا الموضوع بتاع هجليج ده خصوصا النزاع بتاع السودان ده واحد كان في روم سابقه يقول يا اخي نحن المفروض ده المناسب نحن فوق، قلنا ده ما زمن المناسب، زمن المناسب بيجي براو عشان الناس تحسم القضايا دي. فالصراع الشمالي ده قد يؤدي لانقسامات وقد انقسام السودان وقد حاجات كثيره، فبيجي وقت مناسب نحن نقدر فوقه نقطع كل هذه النقاط الخلافيه، بعد ذاك سواء كان بالمقاضاه ولا كان باي شكل من الاشكال كل خيارات بتكون مفتوحه يعني. خلاص المثل السوداني بيقول دار ابوك كان خرب يا استاذ ابراهيم بيقول فاهم شنو؟ شيل منك شريعه. ده مثل سوداني اصيل بالضبط. بين ابوك كان خرب انت تقلع تشيل حصتك بعنايه يا هو السودان هو بين ابوك خرب، فنحن نضمن حاجاتنا قبل ما يعني الاداره الخلافيه دي كلها لازم نرفعها فوق هسه دي. ولو بيح كمان الشعب السوداني عشان يعرف انه ما يجنب يعمل لنا حركات. انا سمعت اول تصريحات بتاعت النايف كده، انا قاعد اتكلم سمعت اول تصريحات بتاعت يعني واحد من اعلى الاصوات والابواب بتاعت البرهان اسمه الانصراف يتناقش الموضوع ده بشكل، لكن تحس انه طعم الانجذاب انهم محزومين يعني. هم من قالوا الموضوع ده هو اعلن حاله استغفار، قال البالكيري قال كل ما قال لكن الاستغفار خاص للجنوب، لكن قال بعد ما اعلن عن الاستغفار قال نحن الملف ده قبل ما نطرحه في الجنوب خلينا نطرحه لحمدوك. يا حمدوك الان الجنوب دخل في هجليك، انت رايك شنو؟ يعني هم المسؤوليه دي الناس حمدوك ولا ناس انه تعسوا فرطوا في هجليك. هم نديروك الموضوع ده بهذا الشكل، يعني لازم برضه نملوا بهذا الشكل، يعني ما في شكل يعني ليه منطقه بنادى عليها. ده غير انه واحده من فيها منشات نفطيه، وبعدين حارسين الاتفاقيه بيقول انه حمايتها مسؤوليه الطرفين، يعني حمايه المنشات النفطيه هم مسؤولين في رجل واحد. على اي حال هذا هو الموقف والمشهد عامل نفسه كده. فموضوع هي ده دار روم براو غير موضوع بتاع يعني الموضوع بتاع الريد بيل ده يخلينا ما نتكلم في هي بشكل واضح على المريض، لانه الريد بيل في ناس معيدين ناس معرضين، وده موضوع داير يفتحوه بشكل براو، يعني يتكلموا فوق لغه مختلفه من اللغه بتاعتنا. يعني احنا حاسين الموضوع بتاع هي ده موضوع بتاع الناس كلهم يعني بالضروره يعني هذا الاساس. انا شايف كده، بتمنى انه بيكون بهذا الشكل. انا يا اخوان هنستمع للسجال، انتم موافقين يا بن مديد نشغل السجال بتاع محمد حسن والاستاذ تعبان.
Yes, yes. Yeah, you can.
هاي خلاص اسمعوا ده خضر تعبان جنجاي.
Yeah.
محمد حسن فاضل ده زول مجرم كبير، يعني زول كان امين عام للمؤتمر الشعبي، بيجي ثاني عنده مسؤوليه كبيره. هو من الناس خلينا نقول على الصف الاول في الحركه الاسلاميه، ومن ناس كثير. على اي حال استمعوا الرجال.
You don't know. ظهر قريب حتى الانت بتاع زار ما بتاع صدق يا ما بدات الامين بتاع شنو؟ بتاع فلط خرطوم. انا بعد لا انت حتى زاد في زار ما بتقدر تطلع كويس، فانت زار ما بتقدر تطلع كويس. انت وين تعبان؟ ايوه انت ده ما تعرف حاجه. انا ما تعرف حاجه منطقه سكان البنيه الفنيه العليا عامل توقيعات العقيد مهندس رياض نيكول المهندس نيكول جازت كل هذا جشوى وتور ما اسمه جون فيلا ما اسمه رياض نيكول. المهم ده اعضاء اللجنه على 4 مناطق مختلفه عليها. هذا تدريج هؤلاء يسووا الدور ما ممكن يحكموا بلد انه كل ده الانتظار. انا عايز اقول هم خلينا عمليه الخارطه التي تخرج كلام.
سمعت مقطع ده جزء من الحوار، طبعا حوار طويل. محمد الحسن الامين الدليل بتاعه انه الشليد، هو بيقول الشليد ليس متنازع عليها حتى يعني، وتعبان بيقولوا من المناطق اللي فيها خلاف، يعني هو قال ما خلاف، قال الدليل على انه اللجنه المتخصصه العليا دي المفوضيه بتاعت الحدود يا اخواننا. ده المفوضيه الحدود ده انا قلنا مرارا انه يا ما اخذت فوقه الا اهله بس. المفوضيه ده كلها اعضاها ناس بتاعين بانتو ديل بس، حتى بدأوا اسمائهم. ودي واحده من الجرائم. انا ما دام اقول انه واحده من التفريط انه هذه اللجنه فوق ناس يعني ما عندهم علاقه بموضوع الحدود ولا بيعرفوا، فوقعوا على ورق وورطونا كله في الموضوع بتاع اللي ده. يعني هسه مع حسن بيتكلم انه هي ليست متنازع عليها ذاته، هي شماليه خالصه، يعني هو اوكي عارف انه الموضوع بتاع انه حفره النحاس متنازع عليه لكن هي بيقول متنازع عليه لانه اللجنه فقط لسان مضوا هذا الموافقه في موضوع بتاع الترسيم. دي واحده من الورطات الكبيره. انا ما اعرف اللجنه دي عندهم شنو مقابل الكلام ده، ولا هم بيمضوا وهم ما عارفين. يعني عندنا تجربه في شمال النيل مع هذه اللجنه، يعني لما جو هناك وكان مشاريع نص مقاطعه رنج داير يسلموا للشمال، كان نص مقاطعه رنج كان داير يسلموا للشمال، والناس منه والناس ما جابوا من خبر هم ماشيين في مشاريع فوق. زول واحد من المزارعين هو زول شمالي، لما جاء شال الكمبيوتر طبعا جيب الاسلام ده كسر، جيب الاسلام ده قال انتوا حرامين ولا شنو؟ فهو اللجنه بتاع الرياض دي هو اللي ورطنا في الموضوع بتاع ده. فهم ما عندهم دليل هسه غير الموضوع بتاع اللجنه. انا حنزل النايله تحت كده لانه بريك ده على وشك بتاع السجال ده، وين كان هو مسؤول في الفيسبوك يعني. اعتبروا انا بجيب هنا يا اخواننا، بعدين لما نطلع بجي واش معاكم في نفس التابك ده. شكرا بن مجيد.
I shukran, Ben Jack, for your input, for analysis regarding about what's going on in between what's going on in English and also in Red Belt. Yes, of course. We will continue to discuss this hour in the clubhouse. And before I close down the studio, Ben Jack and Ustad Ibrahim, let me ask you this the closing discussion. So before I close this, can you guys answer this question? The capture of image by RSF and the confrontation between the Red Bell and security personnel in Bor. So what make like the security? What do you guys think about the security and the local tension between SPDF and local youths like Red Bell, for example, any other youths like White Army and other youths in South Sudan? This tension can shape South Sudan peace and security environment. So what do you guys think the government and the people of South Sudan can do so that they can stop this violence in this war? Because South Sudan now is in chaos, everywhere in South Sudan. So what can be done when we are close to 2026? So what this is the question what you do. What advice do you want to give to the government of South Sudan and also regarding what's happening in English Marol and also in part in water area and also what is happening not only for Red Man, any other what can be done? What government can do and also what can they use to stop all of this violence going on? So what is that like?
Yeah, very good questions, Madit. I think the two incidents it happened as a coincidence. There is no correlation between the fall of Heglig to Damascus and the crisis of war by the Red Belts and the government of South Sudan. My simple advice to the government of South Sudan is this: the year is ending, and you don't need to open many fronts or to create a situation whereby people are going to be panicked. There is domestic issue, and we have international crisis happening along our borders. This Red Belts issue, I think, is very simple to be addressed in 2 or 1 days, given the fact that if you listen to the Red Belt leaders, he was open and he was pursuing or pledging that we need to reason with the government. So I think that is the ground, to contain the situation in Bor. So government need to engage as soon as possible to put that to rest, so people of Bor and the Jonglei community in general can receive the Christmas with open heart and peace and harmony, and then they coexist, hoping that the new year will come with a different situation, and then they can deal with the issue of glitch here. And I think a lot of the international community and the IGADs and the African unions are watching very closely to what is happening, and therefore I think it should be given a priority. At the same time, there is no necessity to let the crisis in Bor to continue. Meanwhile, they can be addressed without confusing, all this statement from the General Chief of Staffs and from the spokespersons, which is contradicting and creating disorientation to the average people in the Bor community. And this is not necessary, and there is no need for that. I think government has the ability to contain that as soon as possible. There is a lot of rooms. They can do it in 3 days, and then calmness will come back to the community. That's my advice to the government, yes. So Mr. Dean can take it from here.
Yeah, was that just like Mr. Dean, are you there? Okay, so thank you, everyone, for listening. So we will continue. For those of you who are watching in Facebook and YouTube, you can join us in Clubhouse. We will continue to discuss this topic about what is happening. That will be the main focus we will discuss in Clubhouse. And those of you, thank you so much for joining tonight, this morning, wherever you are. We will continue monitoring this stories closely. Thank you so much. Thanks to media, Heglig media, and South Sudan media. I will see you again next time. Thank you. You guys, I can open the hand raise.
Okay, yes, there is people already. I think that when you can call out. Great.
You guys come up. So we have Brian, thank you guys. Have a nice day.